Diversion of prescription drugs is growing to the point that local law officers are training to stop it.
A major pharmaceutical company is in Austin this week to train deputies about this problem. A recent study shows the number of retail prescriptions roughly tripled in the past 20 years. And the more prescriptions, the more risk that they will be used by someone they were not prescribed to. All new at 6, Chris Sadeghi tells us more.
Prescription drugs can be a big help if you're sick. They can also be big danger if they fall into the wrong hands. It's become a big enough problem that a pharmaceutical company is in town training deputies on how to keep that from happening.
They just sent us this prescription.
At Now Zinfield Drug, they're careful with every pill, every bottle, because they know just how powerful this stuff can be. So they like to know who they're giving it to.
We know our customers. Somebody strange comes in, we'll question them, we'll make sure it's the right person.
But once the pills leave their hands,
There's not a lot we can do about it.
prescription drugs have been the motivation for burglaries. And Detective Mark Taub with the Travis County Sheriff's Office says their influence can lead to more crimes.
What they did, they don't recall, and from their own confessions, they're blaming it on the narcotics.
The pharmaceutical company Purdue Pharma was in Austin Wednesday to train deputies about how to handle prescription drugs that were diverted or taken by someone they weren't meant for. Over the last year, Taub says it has been the motivation for even more burglaries.
It's the first thing that they're going into the kitchens, medicine cabinets, stealing some of the narcotics.
But Purdue says 70% of the time it isn't a burglary, but the diversion comes from a family member.
The majority happens when individuals take those drugs right out of the home.
It's against the law, and enforcing that law is being taught this week. But it's a crime pharmacists, drug companies, and the deputies themselves say often starts right where you live.
Right out of the house, right out of the medicine cabinet.
And Purdue says it's also up to the patient. If they have prescription medications, make sure you're keeping them in a spot where the wrong person cannot get them. We're in Central Austin. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
As Chris mentioned, Purdue Pharma presented the drug diversion training. It's important to note here, Purdue is the company that manufactures the popular oxycodone brand OxyContin. Purdue executives pleaded guilty to misleading the public about the safety of OxyContin. That lawsuit, which was brought by the U.S. District Court, alleged the company misbranded the drug as less addictive and less subject to abuse than other painkillers. They also said OxyContin could be stopped without any withdrawal symptoms. The company paid more than $630 million in fines to 26 states and has since changed its marketing practices and increased warnings about the drug.
And some say